नमस्कार and a very good morning. Welcome to the audio cast from Kotak Securities. I'm your host and guide Anindya Bannerjee. कल शाम को US GDP data underscored 2 consecutive quarters of contraction. Now, this technically qualifies as a recession, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is that there is a slowdown happening in the economy. And internals clearly indicated the slowdown was broad-based. Consumption, investments, build-up in the inventories, government spending, everything. Now, this will start to play out in the coming quarters as well, because US housing market is feeling the heat. Now, that's the reason why possibly Fed also started talking about the slowdown as well in their latest speech. And they are now likely to slow down the pace of hikes from 75 to 50 and then gradually taper it down. Iske karan, dollar has corrected against several emerging market currencies. Against the euro, pound, etc., these currencies, it has softened but not much. But against the several emerging market currencies, it has done well. Against the Chinese one, it is flat because China mein lockdowns are back and the Chinese economy is struggling big time. They are now saying that will not go for some massive stimulus. It looks like the Chinese banking system, real estate sector, unlike in the past, whenever they got into a mess, because their economy is a huge mess. But whenever that mess started to come out, they always came out with measures to counter that by announcing big bang stimulus to build infra, etc. But this time around, all those announcements, whatever they have done, little or more, is not having much impact. And this ongoing lockdowns is taking a toll. So Chinese currency is not able to appreciate, but other emerging market commodity linked currencies have, and even Indian rupee is showing strength against the US dollar. 79.56.55 के आसपास spot reference है offshore में, which means we could get another gap down today. Now, technically, there is scope, or at least price action wise, there is scope for further downside. Now, since 3rd of May, जब ये 76 के आसपास था, post that surprise hike from the RBI, dollar rupee has not corrected much. So this is the first proper correction from 76 to 80. 4 rupees rally had little or no correction. So this is the first proper correction that is unfolding, and also a signal that the position is being rebalanced. So this correction can take prices towards various support levels, just as 79.40, because RBI is not going to mind this kind of pullback in the dollar when they have already sold large amounts of dollar to defend the Indian rupee around the 80 levels. So 79.40 का एक support है 35.40 के आसपास on the spot, which roughly translate to around 79.55.60 on the August futures. There we would like to see whether we want to continue with our shorts or not, क्योंकि वहाँ पे अगर bounce कर रहा है, then we would like to cover. But whether that becomes the final bottom of this correction, we have to wait and see, because that's a dynamic process. You just cannot pinpoint and say that this is where the correction is going to bottom. Those are all probabilities, and probabilistically we'll say that that is a strong support zone. But whether market respects it as a final bottom, we have to watch and see. Now coming to the trade, as I said, we are holding shorts, so we'll review that position as the prices get to that support level. On fresh trades, ये हो सकता है कि once it arrives at a support level after correction, it may just go into a range. So shorts, straddles and strangles can be considered, but again, when you are doing such trades, keep in mind the volatility is low, implied volatility. So your risk to reward is not good, not favorable. So your position sizes, when your risk to reward is not favorable, should be small. This is very, very important. You cannot just have a one size fits all kind of a thing. Every time you just go with one big position in the market to trade options. Because the risk reward is not favorable, this is the time that you take small positions when you are shorting straddles or strangles on any trade, which basically bets that the dollar rupee will stay within a range and your trade has an unlimited risk. If you are doing a iron fly, जहाँ पे unlimited risk नहीं है, which is basically shorting a ATM straddle and buying a strangle, to hedge the unlimited risk. There you can increase your position size because you don't have an unlimited risk, your stop loss is built in. But where you have to basically key in the stop loss, wahan pe in this unfavorable times, it is advisable that you keep your position sizes very, very small, so that in case a big move happens and you're caught on the wrong foot, the losses are not much. You can get back in the game once again, because trading is all about getting back in the game. It's like a test match. If you want to play it like T20, your career will be over. So keep that in mind. This is very important. It's small and steady returns which creates the big wealth. Now coming to the cross currencies, GBP INR may see a little more upside, but considering that dollar rupee is in a downtrend, GBP dollar may not be able to have a big impact on the GBP INR. So a slight upward bias will be there. The euro INR is going to struggle because euro dollar is unable to make much headway. It's simply moving up and down because Europe has issues in terms of gas and what it's doing to their businesses and consumers. So that's the overall picture on the crosses. So that's it, folks. This is Anindya Bannerjee signing off. Have a fantastic day ahead.